Guys, we're on a mission to teach teenagers how they can make $50 to $60 an hour. Got a call this morning that a whole line in the house is not working, electrical line. The breaker did trip, they turned the breaker back on and it didn't work. So I'm gonna show you guys a couple little things you can do to troubleshoot it. Let's dive in. So here's the breaker panel. We're gonna pull this off. The first thing you wanna make sure is that there's no burnt wires. You can see this one here, come on up here, Chris. You can see this one here has a little burn mark on it, but the wire seems to be okay. But I think she said it was either this or this breaker. So we're gonna show you guys what you can do just to troubleshoot it. You can get yourself one of these. It may seem a little bit confusing with all the buttons on there, but we wanna turn it on. And this says DC, we're not looking for DC. So we're gonna turn it down here. We're looking for AC. A little bit of a difference, but you wanna make sure it's on AC. And put this down here. We're gonna put the black one on the ground. Green is ground, and also the bare wires are ground. You can see this one has some juice, 120 volts. This one does not have, oh wait, nope, that one does too. So it looks to me like we have a different issue. So once we know that the breaker is not bad, we know that it's probably a loose wire inside of the house in one of the electrical outlets, and that's what we're gonna go look at right now. You can shut that off, Chris. Sometimes it helps if you go to 0.5, so it's not like... Guys, so the lady told me that when she plugged this in, it ran for about 3 hours and then it shut off. So our first culprit might be this outlet. But on electrical circuits, sometimes they don't have any rhyme or reason. It's not just a 1 bedroom or 2 bedrooms or the kitchen. A lot of times the circuits run through different portions of the house because it was the easiest thing for the contractor to do. Now, the reason they do this is you can put 8 to 12 outlets on a series, and if you separated each room individually on a breaker, you'd have to have a huge breaker panel to get all of the bedrooms, all of the lights on a certain circuit. So you can run 8 to 12 outlets on one circuit. We need to figure out if this is the bad outlet or if it's one of the other outlets on the circuit. One thing that will help you is one of these things right here. You turn them on, it's a voltage detector, and you can easily see, let's go over here. See it blinking red? This one has power. And then if we go over here, pull that off, that one has power. We've got 2 boxes over here that we might pull apart if we can't figure out where this loose wire is. So first thing we're gonna do is come over here to this one that's not working. My battery's probably getting low, so this one's not working. Let's pull it apart. A lot of times you can wiggle them around and get an idea, but we got to be careful because this is still live. The breaker's on, there's current to it. So whatever the culprit is here, I do smell a little bit of a burny smell here. Don't know where it's coming from, but as you can see, there's 2 wires here. So that means there's a wire coming in from a circuit and a wire going to another circuit. We don't know which one is which, but we're gonna go ahead and we know that there's no power coming in or going out. So that means it's not this outlet. You can shut that off. Guys, this is a manufactured home and we have the home coming together right here. I pulled this apart. All of these wires seem to be in good shape and they seem to be tight. No burn smell. We do smell a little bit of a burn smell, but sometimes even your neutrals can be the culprit where they're just not tight enough. Because you got to have, to complete a circuit, you got to have the neutrals and the hots. But all of these seem good. I don't think that's our culprit. We're going to move to, so what you want to try to figure out is where the circuit comes in and where the last outlet is that has power. This outlet over here doesn't have power, but a lot of times it's an outlet that has power. It'll show that it has power and one of the wires back there is loose. So we're going to keep digging here. It'd be nice to not have to rip everything apart to figure it out. Power to that. No power to this. There's power to that one. Hope it's not up in the ceiling fan. All right, let's pull this one off. See where we're at. Sometimes I wish I had X-ray vision. I could just see where all this is running. So those wires look good. You always want to wiggle them a little bit, make sure that they're and then tester, make sure that, okay, we're gonna go to the last outlet that had power. I don't know, guys. It's all connected pretty good. I do smell a little bit of a, can you hand me my drill over there, guys? Well, that makes it easy. This looks like communication or something like that. This doesn't look electrical, but it is, yes. good. This all looks good to me. It all looks good though, guys. I don't really see any problems here, which is fine. I'm gonna pull this one off. This one has power, I think, right? I'm gonna pull this one off. But there is 3 wires coming into this. And I'm not really seeing any culprits here. So it's not that one. There's no power to that. Should I toss it? My future $50 to $60 an hour employee pulled this off. And if you look up in there, you can clearly see some burnt wires. See that, Chris?
Yep.
And that is what we're looking for. That's sometimes how houses burn down, shorts like that. So I think I got the breaker off, so we're gonna gently pull on this, pull it out, and then you can see the crispy critters in there. So something has a short in it somewhere, because that is just not normal. So here we go. Easy, that one's live probably.
So
it might not be live. So see where you're holding? I shut most of the breakers off, but this is what shocks you, that metal part. So you always want to hold it up here and turn it if it's live. Right now I think I got all the breakers off, but you always want to just treat them with respect. Guys, part of making good money is doing all of the grunt work and not being scared of hard work. It takes a lot of hard work to get to the easy part. So always make sure you do your best. Put everything back the way you found it. And Chris is gonna batten down all these hatches. I like to put the top one in, Chris, and then put the bottom one in so it's lined up before tightening it down all the way. And then it gets it square. So guys, just getting down into it. We made sure everything was off. And so you can see these wires are burnt. The question was, this wire burnt because it was touching a ground wire somewhere? Or is this wire burnt because there's a short somewhere in the other side of the system? So that's what we're gonna try to figure out, just to make sure everything is okay. You can see in the back of the, right back here, looks like something was touching a ground wire way up here. And so you wanna make sure you figure out why this thing got burned up before turning it back on. Guys, so I don't know why they ran a pigtail into this one, but they pigtailed this one into this one. I'm gonna remove that pigtail. You gotta, even though we don't have very much wiring here, we gotta get down to where it's not burnt. So we're pulling all this off here. We're gonna re-strip it and just make sure that we have casing on the... Now, one thing that you can do, just to make sure that there's no shorts, is do a continuity test. And that's what we're gonna do right now. The problem with that is, if there's anything plugged in or any lights that are turned on, it's gonna say that it has continuity, but maybe not in the ground. So we gotta be careful because we don't have a lot of wire, so we wanna be careful not to cut too much off. But let me see here. All 3 of these wires need to be connected now. And we're gonna also do our continuity test here. It could have just been, I see a ground wire in there with a little burn mark. It could have been that they pushed these into the wall and a little piece of bare hot wire was hitting the ground. That's the hope and the prayer. That's what was happening, but we're gonna figure that out now. We're gonna do a continuity test.
What is that? It's a little device.
I call it an electrical tester, but it's called a digital multimeter. So this little thing looks like sound bars or Wi-Fi signal. We're gonna put it on there, and the circuit, if it's a circuit, it'll beep. If it's not a circuit, it won't beep. Now, that means we want to take our ground wires, which are down here, and they should be on something, but we're going to take one, put it on our ground wire, and the other one on our hot wires, and that's good. Now, that's not good. It must not be on there good enough. Good. Your neutral and your ground should be hooked to the same thing in the meter, in the breaker panel. So see, that's not good. It's not good when hot.
Oh, it's okay.
That's not, I don't know what to say about that. Now just know that your hots and your neutrals and grounds are, your neutrals and grounds are connected to the same place in the electrical panel. So you will have continuity between your neutral and your ground. And you can have continuity between your ground and your hot if there's something turned on, like a light, something like that can give you a hot there. Guys, our future electrician here. So you can see the 15s, right? 15, 15, 20, 20, 20. And then you see these big ones, right? These big ones are normally air conditioners or dryers, any type of big heating element or cooling element. The 15 are going to be your bedrooms and your lights. The 20 are going to be your bathrooms, kitchens, laundry room, and exterior outlets. So all your, where you have heavy loads, you got your 20 amps. Your 20 amps are going to be 12 gauge wires, so a little bit bigger. Your 15 amps are going to be 14 gauge wire. So most of the house will have 12 gauge and 14 gauge wires in it. 14, even though it's bigger than 12 in gauge, it's actually smaller.